Thank you, Dave. Well, for many of us, warmer weather means we get more active, but for the 1 in 6 Canadians aged 15 and older with arthritis, common summer activities can come with pain and suffering, but that doesn't have to mean popping pills. Author, dietitian, and arthritis sufferer Kim Arrey is here to show us how to manage pain and inflammation, starting with what we eat. And welcome to the show.
It's nice to be here.
All right, so explain the correlation between what we put into our stomach and how it affects pain.
Well, we know that we've seen, especially from our studies on heart disease and diabetes, that there's a lot of correlation between inflammation and the food we eat. So we're kind of saying, because we don't have a lot of studies on arthritis yet, we think that might be helpful in dealing with your arthritis as well. And so it's a good idea to eat well and to be healthier in general. Also, a lot of people with arthritis tend to have type 2 diabetes as a secondary issue, or heart disease as a secondary issue. So we want to prevent those diseases. Again, eating well is the key. One of the problems people with arthritis have, especially when you have osteoarthritis though, is you're taking pain medication that upsets your stomach. It causes irritation to your stomach. And then there's a whole host of healthy foods, especially in the fruits and vegetables, that you avoid because you think that that's going to upset your stomach, when really you need to talk to your doctor about changing your pain medication so that you can actually enjoy the foods that are health promoting.
Okay, so these foods are not going to exacerbate the problem. They're actually going
to help you
diminish the inflammation.
Right,
okay, well, let's take it to, I mean, this is just such a healthy spread, clearly. So where do you want to start?
So if we start with the vegetables and the fruit, notice I said vegetables and fruit, not the other way around.
Okay.
And they are there because they contain a ton of phytonutrients that we know that different phytonutrients can help reduce inflammation. They also contain fiber, and fiber seems to help reduce inflammation as well. And that's why we've got the lentils, the chickpeas, and the dried beans there. And beans can be canned or dried, and they still will give you the benefits of having, again, the phytonutrients and also the fiber.
Okay, that's good to know for people who don't have time to do the soaking and
everything,
right?
And then we also have the fatty fish, so the salmon, and we have the sardines, because they're good in really great source of omega-3 fats. So we really want to encourage people to have omega-3 fats because omega-3 fats seems to reduce inflammation. You want to be eating fatty fish twice a week.
Yes, you do.
Right.
For so many reasons.
Yeah, and then we have avocado and the nuts and the flaxseed because they too are going to be great sources of healthy fats and very nutrient dense.
Can you explain how one would use flax seeds for people who may not be incorporating it into their diet?
There's lots of ways you can use flax seeds. You could start as simply as, I mix it into my peanut butter and just eat it that way. And that gives me the benefit of the fiber. If you want to get the benefit of the nutrients inside, you have to grind it up. And then the ground up paste you can use in whatever you're baking. You can actually add it to many different foods.
Now, as an arthritis sufferer yourself, but you are also a nutritionist, so you probably eat well consistently, but have you noticed a difference?
I notice a difference, yes. There are definitely days when I notice and kind of say, okay, did I do anything that I shouldn't do?
Right.
And the answer is no. Did I do anything, am I eating anything differently? And the answer is yes. And I know for myself, for example, I was originally on a medication that really irritated my stomach, and I had to take out all those foods, and I was very conscious that my shoulder wasn't actually getting better. So we switched out the medication. My doctor asked me to take a different medication, and when he did that, I was taking Tylenol for arthritis pain, and it just made such a difference, and I could go back to eating the healthy food, and I actually have less flare-ups now.
Okay,
so it's really great.
A crucial combination.
Yes.
We are going to move to this side
They're
of the
not
table.
so good, guys.
It's very, you know what strikes me, aside from these colorful items, it's very blanched, right? Everything is kind of white.
So we know that the white bread and the white potatoes are high glycemic index. Anything that contains a lot of white sugar, or really any kind of sugar, is high glycemic index. And any food that raises your blood sugar level too quickly like that is actually going to, again, drive inflammation. So we want to stay away from those kinds of foods and really stick more with the whole grains. In the Mediterranean diet, because really what we're trying to suggest people to do is to follow a more Mediterranean type diet, they're suggesting having red meat only once a month.
Wow.
Now,
Now, it's a hard
Most-
sell in this province.
I was going
I'll
to say,
tell you.
most North Americans have, I mean, I try at home, I try and have it only once a week, and
Yes.
even that's like pushing it.
Yeah.
But for at least reduce, and even what we often do is we'll have some red meat, but we'll have a small portion, and then we'll have some beans with it. So like making a chili, so you have the red meat, but you also get the beans, and you have a little bit less of each.
So keeping a good balance and
Yeah.
always keep these things just chock full of sugar.
Chock full of sugar, and I think the worst part about these is when you're having these, they tend to replace something that's here.
Right.
So that's what we want to avoid.
This is excellent information. How do people find out more?
Well, actually, you can go to Tylenol Canada on YouTube, and that will give you some great videos with more tips.
All the links and information you need at breakfasttelevision.ca. We will send you that way. Still to come.